Man, this generation is only getting worse and worse as time goes on. Even a few years back, it wasn't even as bad. Of course, there was technology, of course, it was social media, but now it's like it increases how bad it gets because you just start to see the trends on social media and I just analyze human behavior type shit. Like, I just see how these people act. There's new challenges on social media where people are acting like robots. I'm sure y'all seen it. It's like a little trend, and it's just so much weird shit going on this planet, and it only increases. And the people like us who are aware of this shit, it's like it's unfair to people like us. It's like why do we gotta deal with this? For one, we didn't choose to be born in the first place by default. Like, we didn't even choose to be here, but now we're forced onto this planet, and now we have to maneuver. We're forced to maneuver through this shit, and now we have to go through the harshest reality. We have to constantly be faced with reality, and it's out of your control. I don't even think most of this shit is in your control about how much knowledge you know. Yeah, you could go out and seek for knowledge, but for some people, this shit was just within us. So it was like this shit was even out of our control as well for most of us, like the knowledge that we know and how we view the world and everything. Because some of us been like this since young kids, like since a young child. Most of us was like this. We was already aware of most of this shit, and our perspective and our viewpoint on life was already different from most people. We always stood out. So it's like this shit was out of our control as well. Like I said, it's just a lot of shit that's out of your control that plays a factor. And now, as I just as I'm living day to day in this reality, I just see everything getting worse. And I have to be basically caught in the crossfire of all of this shit. Like this shit gets more and more like a prison each day. Because that's the situation you're forced in. You're forced into monk mode nowadays. You're forced into an isolation prison. And for most of us, it's not even the fact that we're forced in this position. Yeah, it's a lot of factors that's forcing us in this position. But it's just how bad and how terrible shit has gotten. So it's like, it's to the point where you're doing this shit. It's like us doing it ourselves. It's a lot of people isolating themselves from all of this shit because of how bad it is. And now we're just stuck to deal with it. And everything is just increasingly getting worse and increasingly getting tougher. Like I said in my last video, like the life settings difficulty level, like it's higher nowadays because the prices are higher. The agendas are increasing, like with the internet and just all this bullshit. There's so much more weird shit going on. So it's just constantly getting worse and worse. And it's nothing we could do about it but face it and be forced to maneuver it. And it's just like, damn. I never remember any time period in life where it was this bad. Like, it was never peaches and cream, but it was never this bad at the same time. And like, this shit is starting to get so bad that I can barely even look on social media. This is why I barely be on there. But it's like, when you see how people are acting and just all these weird trends, That shit just annoys you. And then the more stuff that you become aware of in this reality is the more shit taking a toll on you because you're aware of more shit. Like most of this stuff we was already going through and dealing with, but now we're able to conceptualize most of this shit. So now we're aware of most of this stuff. Like back in the day, I was experiencing dealing with normies and stuff, but I just never knew how to conceptualize it, and I never knew the patterns. Like I would just go through it. Like I can vaguely remember going through most of this stuff with people like normies, like getting treated a certain way, but I never like was able to fully conceptualize the patterns and know exactly why it was happening and just the situation. But now, like I said, the internet has provided that clarity. So now you're able to see all the things that were affecting you. So now you're aware of it. You're now aware of most of the shit and how it's affecting you and why. And you can no longer view things the same anymore nowadays because everything is being revealed, and the layers are being pulled back even more, and stuff is revealing itself even more. So even when we like did find out the truth about shit, it's like now we're finding out even more. It's like more layers to this shit. It's like, yeah, you probably known the truth about certain people and certain things, like, but now it's just all this stuff has more layers to it. It's like way more layers of truth within most of this stuff in not even just everything in your reality. It's just layers. So now you're just becoming more and more aware of everything. It's a weird type of energy nowadays. It's like you basically just want to disassociate from everything and everybody. That's how bad it is. And everything is being reversed. You got females becoming more masculine like men. You got men becoming more feminine. Everything is just reversed. So there's no way you could expect the energy on this planet to be right if everything is just reversed and everything is more corrupted. This is why the energy is so dense on its physical plane. Because it's just so much cycles of just degeneracy going on. There's so much foul shit going on, and it's all just trickling down. It's like a chain reaction. It's just trickling down, trickling down. So much negative energy just recirculating itself. And it's like a constant, never-ending thing that you just gotta deal with. And most of us are just stuck in this reality now. We're just forced to have to deal with it.